Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. But if you're new here, well then welcome to Just Horrifying. If you guys love true crimes, don't mind an Aries speaking her mind, and don't take offense to any lewdness coming out of my mouth, well then I strongly suggest you subscribe to my channel. Today's cases is going to be a little bit different than usual. I'm going to be talking about 6 different cases, and each of those cases are going to be from a different state. First, let's talk about Alabama. This case definitely caught my attention. It's the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing. So, in 1963, pretty much the most senseless attack in Alabama history was done by the Ku Klux Klan on a black church. The bombing ended up killing 4 people. 3 14-year-old girls and 1 11-year-old girl, and injured more than 20 others. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King attended 3 of the 4 girls' funerals and delivered a speech during the proceedings. Now, despite the high profile, the FBI ended their investigation after 2 years and blocked any impending prosecutions. The case wasn't even reopened until the 1970s, with the first conviction happening in 1977. Robert Chambliss was sentenced to life in prison. But, listen to this shit. 2 of the remaining 3 bombers, Thomas Blanton and Bobby Cherry, weren't even convicted until early 2000s. And the 4th suspected participant, Herman Cash, well, he was never charged and pretty much died a free man. The next state we're going to be talking about is Alaska, the Butcher Baker. So, in Anchorage, Alaska, in the 70s and early 80s, a man named Robert Hansen was a serial killer who preyed on women. He killed at least 17 women and admitted to raping 30 others. His nickname actually comes from his profession as a baker. He mainly preyed on sex workers because they were harder to track and less likely to be missed, he said. He would even often abduct them and release them into the wilderness, and then he would hunt them down with a rifle as they tried to escape. He was sentenced to 461 years and died in 2014 at the age of 75. The next case was in Arizona, and I'm going to be talking about Jodi Arias. Jodi Arias was pretty much one of the most well-known Arizona killers. This crazy bitch was convicted of first-degree murder in 2012 for a 2008 killing of her ex-boyfriend, Travis Alexander. Travis was discovered by friends in the shower at his Mesa, Arizona home. Crime scene photos showed a brutal, grisly, bloody scene in multiple rooms. Travis had a gunshot wound to his head, suffered dozens of stab wounds, and his throat was slit. The trial and sentencing trials gained national attention and was pretty much broadcast around the world. Jodi spent 18 days testifying in her own defense. Some of that testimony included claims that the relationship had become physically and emotionally abusive. The court-appointed counsel for Jodi argued that Travis's death was an act of self-defense. On May 7, 2012, Jodi was found guilty of first-degree murder after 15 hours of deliberation. After 2 sentencing trials ended in a mistrial, Judge Sherry Stevens sentenced Jodi to life in prison without the possibility of parole. It's very sad that this psycho killed her ex-boyfriend in cold blood and tried to convince a jury that the grisly crime was in self-defense, despite the overkill and clear signs of premeditation. Next, we're going to be talking about Arkansas, and the case is going to be the West Memphis murders. In 1994, 3 teens from Memphis, Arkansas were convicted of murdering 3 young boys, with the prosecution stating that the killing were part of a satanic ritual. The 3 defendants, Damian Echoes, Jesse Miskelly, and Jason Baldwin, say they were targeted because they were misfits and, well, enjoyed heavy metal music. The trial and conviction of the West Memphis 3 drew national attention, with celebrities like Johnny Depp advocating for their exoneration. In 2010, the 3 were allowed to enter an Alford plea, which allowed them to assert their innocence while acknowledging there is significant evidence to convict them. A judge ended up releasing them after serving 18 years in jail. The real killers never been caught. The next state, California. I'm going to be talking about the Golden State Killer. Now let's talk about the good old Cali. While I was looking at murders that took place in California, California has a lot of candidates to consider. There was the unsolved Zodiac killer case, the Manson family murders, the Night Stalker, and even the most famous unsolved case of all time, the Black Dahlia murder. But the Golden State Killer takes the win due to the crime he committed and how damn long this jerk was able to live a free man and not be captured. It wasn't until DNA technology was advanced enough that California investigators discovered the same serial rapist who terrorized Northern California in the 70s had moved south and escalated to murder, taking the lives of at least 13. The Golden State Killer seemed motivated by conflicting terror on his victims. He would often target heterosexual couples, subduing and restraining the men while assaulting their wives or girlfriends. Sick for sure. On April 25th, 2018, police announced the arrest of Joseph James D'Angelo, whose DNA matched samples found at the scene. Last but not least, we're going to be talking about the state of Colorado. And the case is JonBenet Ramsey. JonBenet was one of the most notorious crimes in Colorado history. JonBenet Ramsey was murdered in her Boulder family home on Christmas Eve, 1996. A very lengthy, handwritten ransom note was found in the home. The father, John, found the little girl's body in the basement of their house about 7 hours after they had reported her missing. The autopsy report stated that JonBenet's official cause of death was asphyxia by strangulation associated with traumatic brain injury. This case remains unsolved. Although a multitude of theories have been put forth through the years, nothing came about. So perhaps we'll never have answers as to what really happened to this beautiful 6-year-old pageant princess, JonBenet. Alright, you guys. Well, until next time, bye.